Happy Saturday, everyone. Happy Saturday. What's up, Dr. T?
What's up, everybody? Happy Saturday. I'm
Glad
excited.
glad to be in the pod today.
Yeah, I'm glad to be in the pod today. It's been a good week, though. We've been together a few times this week.
Yeah, so we were at Avon Donuts on Thursday morning, 7 a.m. to 8:30 with
Yeah.
Tune Up Man, Dr. T, and the Queen was giving out free donuts.
Yeah, it was nice too,
Yeah.
y'all. If y'all missed it, y'all surely missed a sweet treat. And shout out to Avon Donuts, the number one donut spot in Michigan
In
and
Michigan.
number 10 in the
In the
world.
world.
Yeah. So shout out to Avon Donuts. They treated us very nice. Their customer service was top tier. And yeah, so if y'all not getting donuts from Avon, y'all slipping.
Y'all slipping. We just want to make sure too that we do have a special guest today, and you can call in or put questions at the bottom, and you can call in during the show at 248-905-1128. That's
Mhm.
248-905-1128. And we are giving away, what are we giving away today?
They gotta call in and see. We got a good treat for you today.
We're not going to tell them.
We're not gonna tell them. We need some viewers to come on in the room, so
Come on
we
in the
need y'all to
room.
stay. But you know what? Wanted to just give a shout out to our producer Asante and also the Queen. This has been a real journey as we've been interviewing the candidates for mayor in the city
Mhm.
of Pontiac. A lot of viewers
Mhm.
have voiced that they like the fact that we have brought the
Mhm.
candidates on just to see what they're doing in the city of Pontiac. And there has been a lot of people who are questioning. So I'm so glad that the candidates get to come on and let their voice be heard and share some of the dynamic things that they have been doing in my great city, the city I was born and raised in.
So ditto. Pontiac is a city I was born and raised in too. But
Yeah.
here's the thing. I know we also talked about how people said that they're really on the fence. They really
Yeah,
don't know who
yeah,
to vote for.
yeah.
You know,
There's a lot of people on the
but also
fence.
people are saying that, you got to be careful because you don't want to just vote for people because they're popular.
That's
And that's
true.
the
That's
problem with
true.
the city of Pontiac is that we
Yeah.
vote for people that are popular. We don't look at the foundation, we don't look at their education, we don't look
Hmm.
at their background. Just
Yeah.
because they're one of your favorite people doesn't mean they need to be you need to vote for them. And also we have a
Absolutely.
lot of candidates that are on the ballot. I was having a conversation with my auntie that's all the way in Mud Bay, Florida,
Hmm.
which is 30 minutes away from Tampa, right?
Yeah.
Shout out to
Yeah.
my auntie
Ain't
and
that
Aunt
Auntie
Annette.
Annette? Hey.
But you know how a lot of buzz is going on in Michigan,
Yeah,
right? And she said, "You
lot, lot.
got the mayor race coming up on Tuesday." I said, "Auntie, what you doing?" She said, "Oh, I'm paying attention."
Yeah.
But due to the fact that we talked about, it's a lot of people on the ballot that maybe I don't want to say shouldn't be on the ballot.
Well,
And yeah, I'm saying it because I'm
you
throwing a little
you can
shade
say
right
what
now,
you want to say.
right? I
Right.
can be right.
Hmm.
So it's people on the ballot. I'm confused about why they're on the ballot.
Yeah.
But then the people that were on our show, to me,
Hmm.
are the ones that should be on the ballot.
Well, you know what I learned? There was a lot of people that have been on the show thus far, and I'm
Mhm.
anticipating learning even more today
Mhm.
about our mayoral candidate that will be on that have really been doing work in the city of
Mhm.
Pontiac. And some of the work I didn't know, even as being a citizen here. And so
Mhm.
when you say a lot of people is on
Mhm.
the fence, they are because some
Mhm.
people really don't know some of the things
Yes.
that these candidates
Yep.
have been
They
doing.
don't.
And
Mhm.
so to see them out campaigning
Mhm.
and to letting others hear their voice and say, hey, this is what we've been doing. It's been a good journey. And I know
Mhm.
we've done this for over 2 months now.
Oof.
And we've had candidates
Oof.
come back again. So we've had
Yeah.
candidates on the show
Yeah.
multiple times. And
Yeah.
each time I've seen the growth. I've
Yeah.
seen the candidates say, hey, you know what? I'm out here. So I'm rooting for all candidates. I want the best.
But you can only vote for one.
You
You
can
can
only
root for
vote for
all
one.
candidates, but you only vote for one.
So
So
I'm
let
rooting for the best man or woman to
so
win.
let's just say this. So we seen one candidate that came on. We won't say his name. He was a hot mess. Came back
Mm,
again. He was a little more polished, right?
mm,
So shout out to him, right? But
mhm.
you can only vote for one person.
That's true.
But let me just say this. So I did a live yesterday morning.
Did you?
Yeah, I've been doing live last couple mornings.
Shout out to the
Shout out
queen.
to me.
Come on,
So
do
I
your
did one
live.
Thursday, Avon Donuts, right? In the parking
Yes,
lot. And I
yes.
did one Friday morning when I got to work around 10:30. I was
Okay.
on about 12 minutes. And I gave a shot. I talked about a little bit about each candidate. I was so proud of myself because I talked about how Mike McGinnis is president of City Council.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then I talked about Kermit Williams. I talked about Gil Benwich for a year. And then who else do we have on that? The three?
Mayor Waterman was
Mayor
on.
Waterman, yeah.
Past Mayor Waterman.
Talked about that. Then I left the best for the end, right? And I
All right.
said, I said, okay, now black people get mad at me because I said that. But listen, so I said, is it age before beauty, right?
Mm,
Because sometimes you take beauty before age or age
mm,
before beauty.
mm.
So when I say less to last, Riley.
All right.
So
So
it's
the
the
cat's
beauty.
out the
Is it the
bag.
beauty? Is
If
it?
y'all
Oh, I
didn't
did.
know, if y'all didn't know who the mayoral candidate is that's gonna be on the pod today, it is none other than Alexandria
T.
T. Riley.
Riley.
Yeah, so she's in the building. So I hope you guys got your pen and paper together
Yes.
so you can learn some things about her. Listen, you can ask questions today. Make sure you call in at 248-905-1128. That's 248-905-1128. Listen, you can call in today. We will be giving out a prize midway through the show, but you have to have watched the show. So something that mayoral candidate Alexandria T. Riley says today will be the question of the day, and you'll have the opportunity to win lunch on me and the Queen of Car Loans. So, Regina, I know you didn't kind of quite like the word of the day, but we've been letting our voice ring since we started. So I said the power of the voice. That was one of the things I wanted to talk about this morning, is because many of us know that there's power in our voice.
Yes,
And
yes, it
when we
is.
begin to speak, people listen. And especially depending on who you are, if you have integrity, if you're walking upright, people want to hear what you have to say. So
Yes.
make sure that you're saying things that are what? Worthy to listen to. So, Regina, what you got going on? Your hands moving real fast.
So sometimes, just so y'all know, we do text with each other within the group. That's how we communicate. So that's what I was doing today. I was texting the group.
Oh, okay. So they
Okay.
can see you too.
Okay. I understand that. I do understand that.
You know, she multitasking, y'all. So what's up? What's up with the power of your voice, Regina?
So I figured the power of my voice is always on 24/7.
Mm.
And the reason I say that is because everybody need to understand you have a voice no matter what. You know, your vote is your voice.
Yeah.
You know, you can sit around and say how you can complain about things and say, you know, I don't like what this person did. I don't like what that person did,
Mhm.
or that person not the right person. But did you vote? Did
Yeah.
you did you use your voice
Yeah.
to vote?
That's
And
good.
a lot of people don't do that. They sit behind the scenes and they actually complain.
Yeah. And I know we're talking about voting now, but you know, our word is our bond. So when we say some things, you know, people want us to uphold the things we say, especially like for someone like you, you're a saleswoman. So when you tell people, hey, look, come on in, come see me, you stand by your word. You help people who have bruised credit. You tell people the truth. You help them
Right.
with getting their credit together. Same thing with me. When people sit in front of me, they need to know that they're sitting in front of someone who is knowledgeable, who's able to give them tools to help them navigate their day. So your voice matters.
Right.
So the things you say and how you live matters, because your life speaks like your voice.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And everybody, the thing about social media now is that
Hmm.
people actually follow your voice. They can go back, they can listen to what you said.
Hmm.
So you can say one thing and do another, but
Hmm.
people will have that video. People, you'll be in a room with somebody and somebody will be recording you.
And you won't even
And
know
you won't
it.
even know it.
And but also there's such a thing as they can manipulate your voice.
Well, you know, this is what we do at work. I'll tell you what we do. I sent you a text. So we at work, somebody doing something, we do this.
And they don't even know.
We take a picture.
You know, that's a shame. That's a shame. Listen,
They won't
social
even know.
media.
Look, you think that we're texting.
And you taking the picture.
Look, and we're taking a picture.
That's a shame, Regina. I'm glad you told the world that today. No, so I'm excited. So Regina, you know, today the word power of your voice really came because Alexandria is our last candidate that will be on the pod before the date of voting
Yeah.
to see who's going to be on the ballot.
Yeah.
So wow, Tuesday's gonna be a buzzing day in the
It
city
is.
of
It is.
Pontiac.
Well, it's funny because everybody has had their each candidate has gotten bashed every week.
Hmm. Yeah, you know what?
Everybody has
This
they have gotten
politics on
bashed.
cold. I've seen people dig dirt and put folks out. I've seen folks next to pictures of vampires. I've seen folks. I mean, I mean, straight up dog. And I'm talking about people not having the necessities to even to run for me. I mean, just flat out dogging people. And
talking
policies
about
go
where people
low.
live,
Yeah,
what they
get low.
have,
Or where
do they
they
have a
don't
car, or did
live,
they get a
or
car, or they
yeah.
just got a car. It's like,
I mean,
why y'all
just
in that man
dogging folks,
business?
talking about them using their positions. I mean, literally dogging folks. But policy, when you run with politics, people will dig the dirt
Well,
up.
they supposed to.
Well, what's in the dark comes to light.
Well, that's why you always got to be on your toes, no matter what you do.
That's
And
right.
what people don't understand is that as long as you work in whatever you do
Mhm.
and you bring it back home, it's just like when you go to work. You may go to work in a different state,
In different city, yeah.
and what did you bring back home?
Yeah,
That's like going to work and you bring your check back home, right?
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. You know, in some scenarios, you have to go to other cities to put the work in and to help other cities
Mhm.
because sometimes your own city don't embrace you.
They don't.
And so I'm
Until you doing
I'm a
something big
candidate of that.
Until you do
especially-
something big somewhere else.
and then
Right. Then they
all
want to be
eyes
like,
on you.
oh,
She's a
what you
Pontiac
doing?
native.
Oh, you want to claim me now?
Listen, I think about even Sierra, like how she's thriving
Yeah.
in Saginaw. She didn't thrive well in Pontiac, and she's a Pontiac native. I think about me having a business downtown Pontiac, being since 2011, being a therapist, helping many of people. But guess what? Detroit is the embracer. But I'm a Pontiac born through and through. That blood runs in my body.
But you know, it's a shame that you have to go to another state. Sierra had to leave her hometown
Mm-hmm.
and go to Saginaw and be
Mhm.
successful.
Yeah.
But then everybody now want to get on the bandwagon, want to do stuff. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? She
yeah.
had to open up several businesses in Saginaw, and this is her
Mhm.
hometown.
Yeah, yeah. So, but and so you'll see, even with our candidate coming on, I'm excited. We're gonna learn some things about her. But I'm telling you, other communities do embrace us because we bring a
Mhm.
lot of things to the table. But it's good when you can come back home and bring those same things to the table
And make
and
a
help you
difference.
and make a
And make a
difference.
difference.
And
Yeah.
not only just make a difference, make a lasting difference.
Well, here's the thing. There's too many times we are known in Pontiac for making decisions off the cuff.
Yeah.
We don't
Yeah.
make this. We don't think our decisions. We don't think them thoroughly.
Yeah.
We just make them because somebody popular or we think this
Mhm.
person.
Mhm.
I can even go back. You know, this mayor's getting out right now, but again, I don't vote in Pontiac, so I don't have a relationship with Tim McGrime. But you know,
They've been calling him Tim Grimy.
well, okay,
was
well,
like,
he
wow.
told y'all in the beginning he was not. It was in the beginning he was not going to stay. This was a stepping stone. And the
Wow.
things he said he was going to do, the hell whether he did it or not.
Well,
They pushed him to do it. And some of the people that was with him, that was good with him, stepped away in February. And y'all know who I'm talking about.
well,
And she my girl.
well,
You know what I mean? She good with me. But I'm saying, because I don't get into the politics, but y'all thought y'all put the right man in and y'all didn't.
yeah.
And look what y'all got.
So, like you said, sometimes
Wait, let me finish on that. Let's talk about the project on by the credit union, PNC and Genesis.
Mm-hmm.
That bridge
Oh,
has been messed up. I
yeah.
don't know how long.
Oh my
They went and did the
goodness.
Phoenix Center, got that all demolished, praising that, and still got the bridge where we got to go around, go straight instead of going around.
People can't even get out of their place.
So,
If it's an emergency,
yeah.
that's horrible. But the last thing I wanted to say is one of the things you said that we make decisions off the cuff,
Mhm.
and I think we really need to think about that because sometimes we make temporary decisions that have permanent and lasting effects.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
yeah. So I think we need to take a break and come back with our mayoral candidate. Who's
Yeah.
coming back, Regina?
Alexander T. Riley.
We'll be right back, guys.
I'm Alexandria T. Riley, and yes, I am running for mayor of the city of Pontiac. Truth is, I wasn't planning another campaign, but watching our kids with nowhere to go after school, seeing families struggle to make ends meet, driving down these pothole-filled streets, I knew I needed to step up. Campaigns should never be about the candidate. They should be about us. And this campaign is about you. The parent working 2 jobs to make ends meet. The senior choosing between medicine and groceries. The young person looking for an opportunity. The family dodging those potholes just to get to work. The small business owner trying to decide between payroll or closing up shop. Some people ask me, where have I been? Truth is, I've been working, learning, and building. Every day, I drive an hour to work as the Director of Development for Genesee County Land Bank Authority, creating exactly what Pontiac needs, While others talk about development during campaign season, I'm actually doing it. While it puts a lot of miles on my car, I'm still doing what our people need. Building affordable housing, building a new grocery store, building new communities.
So we're back in the studio, back in the pod with Alexander T. Riley. Good morning.
Good
Good
morning.
Good
morning.
morning, Sunshine.
Good
Listen.
morning to the queen and to the good doctor.
Yeah.
Hey, good morning. Y'all been calling me the good doctor the last
Wait a minute,
couple
hold on.
days.
The good doc-
I love it because I'm telling you, Tune Up was like the good doc, and then now Alexandria like the good doc. Thank you for the good doctor. Okay.
So listen, you just said before we came on, you said that she looks the same.
She looks the
She looks
exact
good.
same.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter whether it's on the billboard or in person. You look the exact same. Yeah, some people are chameleons. They don't look the same.
They look a
They
hot mess.
present one way and they come through another. So that's a plus. So good morning. I'm excited to have you on. Excited for the viewers
Yes.
to hear what you have to say and what you plan to do if elected mayor in this great city of Pontiac.
I am very excited and grateful to be here. So I thank you. I think I am the last candidate to get on the show, be in the driver's seat. So,
Glad you're here.
all the anticipation.
So you know what? What we did was we saved the best for last, right?
Thank you.
So
The queen shining it up today. ain't
you
she?
pulling up the rear. We're not gonna tell y'all that little other things. That's none of your business. But the first question I have is I'm sure that all our viewers have this question is where you been? We know that you work in Flint, you're a Pontiac native, you're here, but where you been, huh? Where you been, Sunshine? Where you been and what have you been? No, not what you've been doing. Where you been?
And that's a great question. I think that I'm taking certain hits by which that question is being asked of me. I was actually asked that in a debate in a attacking form by an opponent, and I tell folks all the time one of the best things that could have happened to me is not winning 4 years ago.
Mm.
And people look at me crazy when I say that because it's like, wait a minute, you ran, you put forth your best effort, you didn't win, and you're saying that one of the best things that happened to you
Mhm.
was not winning the election. And I say that with humility and in all sincerity
Mhm.
because it allowed me to go outside of my city.
Mhm.
Now, you mentioned the bridge and
Mhm.
the inconvenience of just driving
Mhm.
around certain blocks.
Mhm.
I'm driving from Pontiac to Flint
Mhm.
every single day,
Mhm.
an hour just about each
Mhm.
way,
Mhm.
back and forth to work. So I have a job in Flint. And so when people say we haven't seen you, I work within government. I'm the director of sales and development for
Mhm.
Genesee County
Mhm.
Land Bank Authority, and I've been doing that for the past 5 years. But I say that's one of the best things that could have happened to me because it allowed me to go outside of the city to work, to learn, to
Mhm.
build relationships, to gain the necessary experiences so that I can bring those resources back home.
Yeah.
And so I've been effectively able to do that. I work with an amazing team, but I want to bring that work experience home. I live here. I still go to sleep here every day. I
Okay.
still do everything here. The only thing I don't do here besides work here is just about go to the grocery store here because we don't have one.
That's
Okay.
true.
But
Right. True facts.
in Flint, I helped to develop one. So, I mean, I think those are some of the things when you look outside of our city and you hear residents say it all the time. Well, this community has this, or that community has that. Why doesn't Pontiac have that? Or
Yeah.
Pontiac had this in the past. And so sometimes you have to go outside of your community to
Yeah.
gain the necessary experience,
Mhm.
to gain the necessary relationships, so that you can bring it back home.
That's real.
So this election for me is a true homecoming in that sense because I want to come back home
Mhm.
and bring my expertise to the position and to the job of mayor.
Yeah. I really like the fact that you was very transparent. Like, listen, I work in Flint. Like, I do
Mhm,
work in Flint,
mhm,
but I
mhm,
live
mhm,
here.
Mhm.
And so I'm very familiar with an hour drive every day to go to another city where you're making impacts in that city and helping that city move along. So I'm thankful that you're saying you want to come home. But for the viewers that are watching right now, what are some of the things that you plan to do when you first get in office if you are elected?
Well, the very first thing is, and I think one of the things that we're lacking right now is leverage.
Mhm.
mhm,
I will acknowledge that the county has made an incredible investment in our downtown. That should be further leveraged. But when you look at our ARPA funds, we had $37.7 million of ARPA funds that were dedicated to the city of Pontiac.
Mhm.
And so I think some of our local elected leadership's claim to fame is saying we didn't have to send that money back.
Mm.
mhm,
It wasn't mismanaged in a way where we lost it, but we didn't grow it.
Mm.
mhm,
So, for example, the work that my team and I have done in Flint, uh, the funds that were awarded through ARPA, there was a big demolition program,
mhm,
and so initially, uh, the team sat around the table and said, "Okay, well, it's going to cost about $40 million to take about those were the initial estimates to take about 2,000 properties down." And
Mhm.
so
mhm,
the ask could have been directly to the city council because most of those properties were within the city of Flint.
Mhm.
But
mhm,
the, the reality of going and saying, let's take about half of those ARPA dollars when all these other issues exist and you could use the funds more efficiently by leveraging them. What we were able to do, my team and I, we sat down and we said, okay, we're going to leverage this. So we went to philanthropy.
Mhm.
A local foundation out there put up $10 million.
mhm,
Went back to city council and said, we can't get this money unless you all put up this money. So
mhm,
that was another $16 million. So
mhm,
that initial 16 million of ARPA dollars grew to a total of $55 million. So that's what I
Mm.
mean as far as leverage. So to answer your question, as far as sitting down in the mayor seat on day one, getting collectively our entire community, as far as from law enforcement to nonprofits to other elected leaderships, going after additional funds to lobby from our
mhm,
state and
Mhm.
federal partners,
mhm,
county partners to say, okay, this is the vision, this is the plan. What can we do to leverage and be inclusive? Because that's another theme that we hear within our community that we don't really embrace
Yeah, that's true.
inclusiveness within our city. We have a lot of individuals that want to be a part or they feel left out.
mhm,
And
Mhm.
so my goal is to bridge that gap and bring unity within our community as we effectively govern, as we effectively make sure that our city services are up to the standard that people in Pontiac can live,
mhm,
fix our roads,
mhm,
Mhm.
partner with our
mhm.
school
Fix
district,
them damn roads, right?
Mhm.
partner
Literally.
with our school district,
Mhm,
make
Yeah.
sure our young people have things to do after school and during the summer, and not just recreational, but enrichment and in ways that they
Yeah.
can grow, and to
Mhm.
also develop a new industry. I want to develop and attract new industry to invest in Pontiac to grow our tax base
mhm,
so that we don't have to keep going back to taxpayers.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
that individuals that own homes or
mhm.
Thank you.
investors in the city and saying, let's take out a millage, let's take out a bond to fund the necessary things that we know within our community needs
So
to
Wow.
be
listen,
done.
you talk a lot about Flint and the relationships and your team and city council and working together, right? What would be your plan to actually bring the city of Pontiac, build the relationships because you got the city council, you got the school board, um, you have help me out, you got the city council, school board, the mayor office. How do
In
you
the
bridge the gap
community.
and
Yeah.
strengthen those and with the community? How do you strengthen the relationships with everybody? Then you got the seniors, you got everybody
Yeah.
that's out there. Now I want to say on their island, but everybody's like pumping their chest right now
Yeah. How do you
about
bring
what
them
do they
all
do. Yeah,
together?
how do you
Yeah.
bridge that gap and bring them all together?
I think in the past, we've operated in silos, or even if we look at the school
Yeah.
district is a great example. We have a lot of individuals that have gotten elected.
Mhm,
We've had mayors that served on our school board first or served on a different a library board, and they
mhm,
use that as a springboard and a launching pad.
mhm,
Um, I have been attacked, and people say, "Well, why won't you start here? Why won't you run for this or run for that?" I'm not going to run for something that I don't feel like I'm going to be my best
Oh,
in.
yeah.
This is my
Mm,
third time running for mayor. I came in third the first time, second the second time, and this time I plan on winning the election. But that has been my focus because that's my background. I'm an ICMA certified city manager. I've worked and I've grown up at City Hall. So I use the school district as an example because certain individuals have used that as a stepping stone to say, okay, let me get elected here so I can step up and get elected there. And there's been a disconnect.
mhm,
You would think that if you previously served on the school district, that once you go over to the city side, that
Mhm,
you would try to bridge that gap.
mhm,
And instead, it's been separation.
mhm,
Instead of saying, okay, City of Pontiac youth recreation programs can partner with the
mhm,
school district's programs, and you
mhm,
can create a coalition of dealing with and addressing and
mhm,
cultivating the next generation of leaders in our community. It's rather these are the school districts programs, these are the city's programs, and then there's that separation. So what my goal and my aim is to bring our community together by saying, especially when you're going after philanthropic dollars,
yeah.
because they want to see that leverage and they want to see that partnership. And so I think that's the basic standard by which we've been lacking as a community. And that's the change that's needed within our city.
Well, Alex, if I can be honest, I was sharing this with Regina, and I don't know you heard.
mhm,
There's a lot of people that's even on my Facebook line, even
mhm,
people that I'm around. They are so
mhm,
confused on who to vote for. It is
mhm,
so many candidates, and a lot of the candidates are popular. A lot of the candidates have worked in the city. A lot of the candidates are visible. So, how do you ease the fear of those who are like, man, who do I vote for? How do you, as a candidate, how do you address those people? Like, what would you tell them?
Well, think about that. I mean, I'm being attacked right now. If one of the worst things you can say about me is I'm not visible, we
Mm,
got we first have to address the role of mayor. The
mhm.
mayor's office is a job, Dr. T.
Yes, it
It's
is
a
a job.
job,
mhm,
Yeah.
right?
mhm,
And so, is someone qualified to do that job? I have a job right now in Flint, and I work in
Mhm,
government. So if there's a holiday or a community event, I'm expected to be there, and I'm
mhm,
expected to perform the duties within the role of my job. If
mhm,
I get
mhm,
elected mayor tomorrow, you will see me because I will be doing that job, just like I do a good
mhm,
job there. My heart is here.
mhm,
But when we think about who we've elected in the past,
mhm,
we elect individuals based on name.
mhm.
mhm,
We elect people
Recognition.
based on if they're visible or
mhm,
not. If we
Mhm,
saw them at the barbecue or the
mhm,
community
mhm,
cleanup, we elect individuals based upon believing if they're going to come in and save us.
mhm,
And
mhm,
so, if you look at a lot of our past elected officials,
mhm,
great people, bad at governance.
mhm,
mhm,
And so, for me, I have executive experience. I'm one
mhm,
of the very few candidates in this race that
mhm,
actually has executive experience. And I want to note another thing. I am outside of one other candidate that's on the ballot, and there's two write-in candidates at this
mhm,
point now.
mhm,
But I'm one of the only candidates that has never been elected. I've
mhm,
worked in city government. I'm the
mhm,
former chief development officer for the
mhm,
city of Pontiac. I brought
mhm,
millions of dollars of grant money into the
mhm,
city.
mhm,
But even in that, I was brought in to do a job, and I did
mhm,
my job effectively.
mhm,
And so we have to examine and look at, okay, you're running for this position. You previously served us in this capacity. What has been our experience? Are we
mhm,
happy, or
mhm,
do we feel like we need change? And what
mhm,
I hear when I'm talking to voters
mhm,
and engaging with voters and knocking on doors is that there is a desperate need for change
there
in the city
is.
of Pontiac. And that is why I'm running. I wrestled with it
But
for
why do you think it's a desperate change? Because every time, every mayor race, people are always saying it's a they need change, they need change, and they do the same thing.
And change just never happens.
Right?
the
Thank
change
you.
has
It
not
never
happened.
happens. Never.
We keep recycling the same individuals in different positions in
Mm,
different
Mm,
capacities. And like I said, great people. I take my hat off and I respect everybody
mhm,
that's on the ballot for this race. And I just think we all offer something different, and what my hope and what my goal is in the future that we all come together. Because for far too long as well, that's been the culture of our politics, right?
Mhm.
So when all the dust settles, when all the
Mhm.
smoke clears,
Mhm.
Mhm.
there are divisions
Mhm.
in the city. So I got a lifelong sworn enemy because in this election, I was on this team instead of this team. So
Mhm.
I say when all that dust settles and all that smoke
Mhm.
clears, there should be one team,
Mhm.
and that
Yeah.
team should be the city of Pontiac.
Yeah. Wow. It's something that you said, that politics really bring out the ugly in people. And so I
But why
appreciate
though?
you saying,
But the
because
thing is though, why it should not.
it should not,
It
but
should
I
not.
I appreciate her saying that she respects all
Mhm.
of the candidates.
Mhm.
But I've seen a lot of shade being thrown just at different candidates, and it's just so heartbreaking, especially if the goal is to bring change to a city that each candidate say that they love. Why do I have to bash you to get my voice heard? Why do I have to dog you? Why do I have to make you look and be a bad person because you're an opponent?
But see, I look at it like this. I don't know if that was a question to
No, it's
Riley, but
valid.
I look at it like this. It's like everybody that bashed someone else, everybody got dirt in their closet,
Mhm.
and the dirt is there, and each person. I don't want to say each person. I'm not gonna say that. Every people have dirt in their closet. That's what you have to realize. You don't know if you're thinking about doing something in the future. You always got to protect yourself and watch what you're doing.
Yeah,
Be-
because somebody always
And
watching.
somebody going
Somebody always
what
watching.
I tell you when I was at work. When I'm at work, you doing something, and we you think we doing? We think we texting?
She
We taking a
telling all the
picture.
stories.
I
She
mean,
tell,
ain't nobody
so
watching this pod. I'm just
if
saying
she throw
though.
that phone up,
Right. I mean, seriously, but anybody throw their phone up because they can throw their phone up, take a picture. They can push record, and you don't know, right? So you have to be careful on what you say and who you say it with, or even through a text, right? Because somebody can incriminate you,
That's
no
true.
matter what.
And now with AI, you can just change things up. But let's get back here, because I want the viewers. If you're watching right now, you can call in. Please call in. You can talk to the mayoral candidate, Alexandria T. Riley, 248-905-1128. You can call in. The phone lines are open now. Um, Alex, so there's a lot of violence happening in our city. I live here. So it's violence with the youth, it's just violence in different areas of our city. What are your plans for Pontiac's youth, especially the ones that are in trouble now, and some of them in behind bars? Children Village. Like, how can we help the ones that are still here not go that route?
So it's been a major uptick in violence and criminal activity, and unfortunately, heartbreakingly,
Yeah.
with our young people. So in recent incidents, we're seeing young people, to your point, 13, 15, 17, 18 being charged with
Murder.
capital offenses. And so I grew up in a Pontiac where we had 4 community centers,
Mhm.
4.
3 boys and
Mhm.
girls
3.
clubs,
Mhm.
And I
and
can
a
name them all.
litany, exactly. Right off the top of your head, Howard Dale, Hayes Jones,
Ewart. Yeah,
Ewart,
come on.
right?
I played at all of them and enjoyed every minute of it.
Listen.
Right.
Played basketball at all 3.
So
All 4, right?
Hayes Jones, my entire
Yeah.
family. I don't know how
Yeah.
to swim myself, but my
Yeah.
entire family, they all know how to swim
Listen,
because of
this is
Yeah,
from
you wasn't
Hayes
young.
Jones.
that's from Hayes
From
Jones.
the barbed wire fence, climbing
What
over
was
the
you
fence.
doing? Why
Trying
was
to
you
get,
climbing?
we was going swimming, and we wasn't paying the
You
money,
wasn't
and it
supposed to
wasn't
be doing
open.
it. Yeah, that's why you
Yeah,
got.
and
That's why
so
that mark for life.
I got beat to death that day too.
You got that mark for life.
That's
Look,
what Hayes Jones
I'm marked
community
for
center
life.
stamp on her.
Right.
Listen, but I got beat to death.
You got marked for life for
Listen, I
climbing over
got
the
beat to
fence.
death. I went
'Cause
home
y'all didn't want to pay.
bleed, and my mama butterflied it and beat my tail. But I got in that water that day.
Wow.
Oh, we got a caller. So wait,
Oh, you
guys.
got a caller?
We got a caller. So let's let our caller come on. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, Pontiac.
Good
Good
morning.
morning. What's your name?
This is Kenyatta Bowman, one of your school board trustees. I figured I would call and say hello and good morning to you lovely ladies.
Good
Good
morning.
morning.
So do you got a question for our mayoral candidate?
Yes, I do. So, mayoral candidate Alexandria T. Riley, may I ask you, what is your passion to want it? Like, why exactly do you want to be the mayor of this city? Say it again for the people in the back who may not have heard you the first time. Why do you want to serve this community?
Well, thank you. First of all, thank you, Kenyatta, trustee, Vice President Bowman of the Pontiac School District. We were just mentioning the school district. And I want to circle back to Dr. T's question too, because she talked about violence in the city and our young people. And that focus is a large part of why I am running. So it's been a passion of mine working with young people. My very first job was at the Boys and Girls Club on Pike Street.
Mhm.
And how old were you?
I was 14. It was funny because they hired me. We had the work permit ready. So as soon as I turned 14, I could go in and I could work in that capacity. So from 14 to I believe about 18, I worked at the Boys and Girls Clubs, and there were 3. It was one on Pike Street, one on Columbia, and then it was
Yes.
one in the projects, Lakeside
Yeah.
Homes.
Come on here.
So,
That's where I live.
Um,
PJP.
we lost the clubs because
Mhm.
they ended up merging.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's how I met you.
Yeah, that's right.
Mhm.
Yep.
I didn't think about that. You were on the board. That's how I met you. Wow. When I was, 16?
No, you met me before this. We
So-
just kind of start encountering doing things when you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Boys and Girls Club. And then at the time, the city went through emergency management. So we lost our 4 community centers.
Mhm.
And so there was a big gap in youth development programs and services for our kids. And what we see now was happening back then. This huge surge and uptick in youth violence and just a lack of opportunities for them to move forward. And so myself and a friend who worked with me at the Boys and Girls Club started a youth development company, and we began working directly in the neighborhoods, Walton Park
Yeah.
Manor, Arborview Village, Newman Court Apartments.
Mhm.
And so from that, that was a challenging time for me. I ended up getting into my car accident. I was driving back and forth to school
Mhm.
4 days out of the week to provide those youth services. And so
Mhm.
on one of those trips, I got into the accident and I lost my leg. So when people look at me and they say to me, where have you been, or what has been your commitment to Pontiac? In my announcement video, I said, this isn't new to me. This is
Yeah.
true to me. I grew up at 11 years old writing for the Oakland Press, the Citizens Post, the Michigan Chronicle. It was ingrained in me at a very, very, very early age, a young age, to give back to my community. And so I mentioned my accident. I don't like talking about it a lot.
Mhm.
I grew up from being raised by my mother and my grandmother in a multi-generational home, like so many residents in Pontiac and
Mhm.
individuals in Pontiac that you have that multi-generational, a grandmother's love. But I was taught from that legacy of strong women to not exhibit weakness or not to talk
be
about
strong.
certain things, be strong.
Mhm.
And so, other individuals have said to me when they learn, like, wait a minute, you're an amputee. Wait a minute, you have a hearing disability.
Mhm.
Wait a minute, you've dealt with all these
Mhm.
hardships or difficulties throughout your life. Why don't you talk about that? Tell your story. And so I guess it is important to
It
share
is.
that because it showcases the things that we can overcome. Not just me, but as a community
Mhm.
or as individuals, once you put your mind to it, what you can overcome. And so through that very, very defining period in my life, my city, city of Pontiac, stepped up for me. And that gave me the hope that I needed to move forward. Because at 20 years old, when you lose a limb, when you're not married, you don't have any children, you don't know what the future may hold. You don't know if you're going to be able to walk again, or if you're going to be able to wear heels again, or if you're going to be able to, as a woman, wear
You wear
dresses.
heels
and
now.
just-
Yeah, she
that's all I
Ain't
wear.
down there-
Everybody says
You
that
gonna
was
catch
for
you
me.
in
That
them
was
titty
what was
shoes,
important.
right?
But to have all these doubts,
Mhm.
and to be quite honest, insecurities, because
Yeah.
it was such a major transition and loss in my life, and the city of Pontiac stepped up for me in a major way. And I want to give back, and I want to give every young person the opportunity to feel like that they can grow up in their community, and also give back and be
Yes.
proud.
So wait,
So let's not forget, we do
Miss
have a
Bowman
call.
is
We
on
do
here.
have a caller on
Yeah,
the line. You need to answer. You need to
she
answer
did.
that
That
question.
Yeah,
was
that's
great.
why
So
Yeah.
okay,
a great
you
deal
went
of why
into
I'm
two.
running.
You went into two. You're right.
It's
So
personal for me.
Yeah.
Miss
So
Bowman, did you have anything else for mayoral candidate Alexandria T. Riley?
I just want to say that no matter what happens in this, that I am so exceptionally proud of you.
She knows me.
The last
yeah.
time she ran, there was a disconnect in the entire community. She didn't prevail, but the things that she's done and the things that she's learned
Mhm.
has put her in a place of leadership, true leadership, and we can see the things, not just words. We can see buildings on the ground. I just am excited and hopeful that we can choose our own and really genuinely love on our own youth, our citizen, our child that Pontiac has raised, and really push her forward and give her the opportunity to lead the city in which her heart desires, and with the community champion behind her. So I just want to say thank you for your diligence and your willingness to want to serve, because this is a job of service, and it
Yeah.
is a thankless job many times. But thank you, and also for the other candidates for the willingness to want to step up and lead.
That's good.
Yeah.
Well, thank
Well,
you so
then,
much for
thank you.
calling in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
So I want to talk about the community groups. I know that the fight, one of the biggest fights that we have
Well,
had.
wait, Regina, can I say this real quick? She said she's proud of you. And when we hear those words, I don't care how old you are, I don't care where you are, just to hear somebody say, I'm proud of you, like I see you. So shout out to Miss Bowman for that, for recognizing you
Yeah.
as the person that you are. Despite all the challenges and
Yeah.
everything you had to go through, she's saying, you know what, I'm proud of you.
Mhm.
And so we really want to recognize her saying that. And ditto, we proud of you too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Do I gotta say it? You know I'm proud of you. Good job, Dr. T. Her background, the therapist always comes out. I'm gonna have to have a therapy session with you later.
You
For
get them
free.
free all the time.
For free.
Yeah, you get 'em.
For free.
All right.
We all need it
Well,
every
look,
once in a
this is
while,
one to
right?
keep me sane, because I'm a hot mess to the T.
I'm
So
gonna have to
one-
bill
one-
you double this one.
Hey, not double. So we had one of the biggest the boxing fights in the world. Clarissa
Mhm.
Shields dominated like usual, but you did something big with other organizations in Pontiac. You guys took 100 youth to the fight, right?
Yeah.
And I know they're gonna remember that fight for the rest of their lives, right? How did that come about, and how did you make it happen?
Big shout out to Clarissa Shields, the GWOP.
Come on,
Come
Whoa.
Come on
Shout
now,
out
come
to the
through.
Whoa.
Gold
Come
medalist.
through.
Yeah.
Um,
Hi, good
I think
morning.
she's like 19-time world
Somebody-
champion at this.
Oh, we got a call.
We have
Oh.
another caller. Okay,
Uh-oh.
who's on the line?
Good morning. Hi.
Good
My
morning.
name is Bobby. Hi. So I met Alex at Delia Sharp's event, the Stop Out Violence event. She came to my table, Winning Touch Advocacy Agency, and she complimented me on my branding. And she told me her mom, was starting out like me, had a nonprofit, didn't have funding, trying to figure it out. And I appreciated her, for one, for seeing the hard work I put in. But I didn't know her story. I didn't know her. But I'm an energy person. So I felt genuineness when I met her.
Mm.
And I wish I lived in Pontiac, because I would definitely vote for her, because what she's saying is true. I grew up in Pontiac. I moved to Pontiac from Highland Park at age 12. And I'm going to be 50 this year. But my parents still live in Pontiac. So what she's saying is true. I sit on the outskirts watching the nepotism, people getting in positions of power that should not be there. They're draining the city. They're starting programs that are not following through or making them grow, because people are operating in ego and not caring about
the greater good. So,
Mm.
Alex, I just wish you well, and I hope that you do win. So I'm going to be putting prayers out since I can't vote because I live in Rochester Hills, but I'm praying that you do win because we do need new life, new blood. And from meeting you, I think you're a genuine person, and I really do hope you win. So good luck.
Thank you.
New
Thank you
life, new
so
blood.
much.
New
Yeah.
life,
Now
new
what
blood.
Now would you
Thank
say
you,
your
Bobby.
name was?
That's Bobby. Is Bobby still there? No, what? No, her name was
she's
Bobby.
Oh, okay,
Bobby,
Bobby.
yeah.
Well, shout out to Bobby. Thank you.
we,
Yeah.
we appreciate you calling in, but
Yeah.
did she say new life, new blood?
Yeah, new life, new blood.
Appreciate the
That's-
work
that's-
that she's doing.
yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it
So
takes a
then
village.
you still got time to call in and talk to the candidate, the mayoral candidate, Alexandria T. Riley, 248-905-1128.
I want to go back to that question because that was a big thing that we did
Mhm.
with our young people. So King Moore, who, if you are watching America's Got Talent,
Yeah.
9-year-old musical
9-year-old
sensation,
young boy.
he and Clarissa teamed up, and they said that they were gonna allocate so many young people tickets to go to the fight. And of course, with no one to go, it was like, wait a minute, Pontiac, we'll make sure we're front and center. And so we had over 100 young people. Shout out to all of the sponsors because we also had vans that bus the kids. They
Mhm.
provided T-shirts.
Mr.
They
Peters
provided
was a
just
part of that, wasn't he?
Who?
Al Peters wasn't
Al
he a part of
Peters,
that?
Peters executive
Yeah.
coach, Charles and Demetra Leonard Foundation, the mention of Delia Sharp, Identify Your Dream, Pontiac United, Pontiac Panthers.
Mm.
I feel like I'm gonna leave some folks out,
Mhm.
but it was truly, truly, truly a labor of love. Even after the fact, the Pontiac Dolphins reached out and they said, "Well, hey, we weren't a part of it. Why weren't we a part of it?" And so, I'll be going around because Clarissa left some giveaways for our young people, but just to see on that stage Olympic gold medalists,
Mhm.
to see on that stage a little Black girl from the city of Flint who has overcome so many obstacles in her
Yeah.
life to achieve international success. And so every young person, and we don't just have those stories in Michigan with the Clarissas of the world. We have them with the Hayes Jones
Yeah.
from Pontiac.
Mhm.
We have them with the Pinklin Thomas
Yeah.
from Pontiac, who joined and came out and talked to our young people. He came home for that experience. Our own former heavyweight boxing champion of the world, who grew up on field duty.
Mhm.
The Jonas Grays of the world, who
Yeah.
from the city of Pontiac went on
Yeah.
to excel and to be on the
NFL.
front page of Sports Illustrated
Yeah.
and receive a Super Bowl
Mhm.
championship ring. With the Drew Browns, who's
Mhm.
doing his thing within the world of athletics and sports at a collegiate level as a coach, and he comes back home and he does his camps.
Mhm.
In addition to Isaiah Jackson, who
Yeah.
he and his team just
Mhm.
competed for the National NBA
Mhm.
championship. And we can talk about the athletics, and we can also shift and go into academics. The former president of Harvard University,
Mhm.
Larry
Mhm.
Bacow,
Yeah.
Mhm.
from the city of Pontiac. We breed the best. We have
Yeah.
such a
Well,
story.
let's
We
let's
do.
go to these
Rich
unsung heroes
history.
because we have unsung heroes like Regina, the Queen of Carlos, Dr. T. You got Sierra. You got a whole bunch of unsung heroes that's
We
from
do.
the city of Pontiac that's making a change. And then we have Alexandria T. Riley, mayoral candidate. This is your third time. Listen, we are individuals that's out here doing the work that still, even though we may not be up in lights per se, listen, we're still just as much involved. So I appreciate you even bringing out the Pontiac folks because we in this piece.
And our children oftentimes cannot become what they can't see.
Yeah.
Amen.
And
Amen.
to say, to have a caller call in to that point and talk about the pride of seeing the
Mhm.
path,
Yeah.
within particularly my journey and my story. My journey and my story would not be here today had it not been for the Reginas.
Mhm.
I was the child, and I say this to everyone. I was the child that the village raised.
Mhm.
Regina met me through the Boys and Girls Club.
Mhm.
She would tell me as a teenager, "Let me see your report card." And she would incentivize
She old.
my academic success. Yes. She would, yes. She would
She was my
incentivize.
child.
No,
She would
no,
incentivize my
put you,
academic
she the
success.
aged you playing.
as a young person. And so for me growing up, and I may not have ever said this to you,
Mhm.
and I can say it on the record right now,
Say it.
I wanted to make you proud.
Mm.
But it wasn't just Regina, it was so
Mm.
many other people that had invested in me. So many other people who I saw doing their thing. And it didn't have to be on a national level, it didn't have to be
Yeah.
on an international level, but I saw them in our community
Mm.
being successful,
Mm.
being committed, caring. And so I didn't want to get in trouble.
Yeah.
I wanted to get good grades.
Mhm.
I wanted to be able to
Because you had to
follow
report back to your village
that
because
example.
we were paying attention.
We
You
were
were
paying
our child.
attention. Yeah.
And that's what we have to get back to.
Yep.
That's the basic standard.
Mhm.
We have to be that village for our young people, and we have to provide them those opportunities. And so, as Pontiac's next mayor, that will certainly be a priority of mine.
That is so good. Man.
Oh, wow. Mm.
Wow. Wow. So
So,
I mean, that is so good. She did kind of share with us what sets her apart and all of those things. So for the viewers that are listening right now, just kind of tell them who, like, your spiel. Like, what's your spiel? If you had 60 seconds to do the elevator pitch, what would it be?
You said with respect to just voters in general.
Just you, period. Like, why vote for you?
TikTok,
I have
TikTok.
I have the background, I have the expertise, I have the experience, but it's not about me, Dr. T, Regina, Queen of Carlones. It's not about me. And when you have candidates, when they are competing for your vote, we talk a lot about ourselves because we have to distinguish and to set apart what our credentials and our background and our experience is, which makes us qualified for those positions. I think we all have a great love for the city. The question is, how do we get there? For me, I want to bring resources into the community where it does not impact our taxpayers, where we're not talking about necessarily millages or bonds, but we're talking about leveraging and we're talking about including each other and being unified as a community. We know what needs to be done in our city with our roads, with our schools, with our city services, with our finances, transparency, accountability. You hear all those words. I bring the background of that, but my focus will be on you, the voters and the people of Pontiac. I will always prioritize the people of Pontiac, and I will give my life to serving our community as I've done since I was 11 years old. I'll continue to do that.
Well, you heard it here.
Man, that was so good. That was a good spiel.
Yeah,
Thank
that was good. Great
So-
interview. Great interview.
So can people vote early?
Yes, people can vote today. People can vote today. What time is it? 8:56. You can vote right now at the Pontiac Library. Today, Saturday, until 4:30, and then also tomorrow from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. on Sunday. So after church, you can go and you can vote at the library. So that's the early voting, and then also on Election Day, which is this Tuesday, August 5th. Polls open at 7 a.m. They close at 8 p.m. This election is critical.
Yeah.
It
It's
is
so
critical.
critical.
Yeah,
It's
it
so necessarily important to the future of our city. So I'm encouraging everybody to get out and vote. Right now, I think we're just under 3,000 people that have voted. We have a city of about 60,000 people, and so far we have about 3,000 votes. And so it looks
Wow.
like 10% of our population is going to determine potentially who our next mayor is in this race. So we want to see people voting. Your vote matters, your choice matters,
Yeah.
and our community matters. So we want to get it right, and we want to put somebody in a position that will lead our community into the future for us.
So you heard it here. Don't forget, you vote today. You can vote tomorrow. Then you can vote on Tuesday. Remember, your voice matters.
Man.
And don't forget to vote.
Yeah, don't forget to vote.
And you know what? we live in a technological age, right? I'm looking at this setup. Shout out to Effigy Media Arts,
Yes.
Asante
Woo-woo.
Lucas,
Our producer.
Pontiac's own. We're talking about
Yeah.
Pontiac's finest,
Yes,
Pontiac's own.
Come on,
So
Pontiac.
I want to shout him out because he's done some incredible things within media, not just in Pontiac, but all across the state
Yeah.
and all across the U.S. So
Yeah.
I want to recognize that and recognize him for
Yeah.
that. But while we're talking about technology and media and talking about voting, we all have that cell phone
Yes.
and we can reach out to those within our networks and encourage them. Folks, the caller that called in, she does not live in Pontiac,
Mhm.
but she's invested in the fabric of Pontiac and in the future of Pontiac. So we can encourage those around us and those within our networks to vote and be on them, just like they owe you money. So, hey, did you
Come
vote
on.
yet?
Yeah.
Right.
Where my
Get
bread
it,
at?
collect, vote.
Pay
Did you
me and
vote
then
yet?
go
All right,
vote.
keep calling and texting until I know that you voted.
Right.
And pay me, by the way,
Right.
right? This is so
Pay it
good.
forward.
So listen, y'all heard it right here on Be in the Driver's Seat. Man, y'all get out and vote. Early voting today, Pontiac Library. You can vote all the way to 4:30. And also tomorrow, for those of you who cannot make it today, you can vote up until 4:30 tomorrow. Pontiac Library. Go vote.
Well, thank you for joining us today, and we appreciate
Thank
you.
you for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, thank
to
you.
both of
Saturday,
you for
everybody.
everything that you do.
Absolutely. Happy Saturday, everybody.
Happy Saturday.
Saturday.